Hey everyone, this is Daniel with Cable Wholesale. Today we're going to be unboxing our HDMI AOC cables. We released them in an emailer a couple weeks ago, and we've had a lot of interest from customers either calling in or checking in with us on our live chat. So join me today while we unbox one of these AOC cables. All right, so the first part we're going to take a look at here is our part number 12V4-42110. This cable happens to be a 10 meter length. We're carrying these in 10, 20, 30, 50, and 100 meters. The first thing we'll see when we open up the package here is a pulling eye. We'll go over this in a minute here. Optional USB power. Let's go ahead and take a look at the cable itself here. First thing you're going to notice when you pull one of these guys out here is the overall diameter of the cable. They're really nice and thin. I just happen to have a 35-foot standard HDMI cable that uses copper. You can see very easily how much thinner this is. Really great if you're going in-wall, trying to run it in-wall. Have a nice clean install with your TV mounted on the wall, centrally locating your devices in a closet or some other place where you don't have wires showing. Really nice. These HDMI cables are unidirectional. They only work in one direction. Thankfully, they are clearly marked. You've got one side that will be your source, your Apple TV, your Blu-ray player, cable box. The other side is marked clearly with display. That's going to be going to your TV. Quick tip, anytime you are going to be installing a cable, always best to test the cable first. Make sure that there's nothing wrong with it. It's working. No point in wasting your time trying to run it through a wall and find out that the cable's bad. One of the next really nice features on this model of the HDMI cable, it features some detachable ends. Slides off really easy. Great feature, protects your HDMI connector. As, like I said, if you are deciding to run this in wall, keeps you from damaging the connector. Once that's removed, it's very thin. Even using a standard 3/4 inch conduit, it's very easy to get the cable in, really easy to maneuver. It's a great feature. All right, so now here's, in the case if you're installing this in wall, here's where the pulling eye comes in handy. It's a little piece of plastic, covers this, snaps on. If you're using a pulling eye or fish tape, you'd hook into this hole here and be able to run it through your wall. Makes it nice and easy install, keeps the guesswork out of it. It's a great feature. The final piece in this part is optional USB power. Now in our testing, even at the 100 meter length, we didn't need to supply power to the cable, but it does come that way from the factory, so keep it handy, you never know. Plug into a USB power source here. The other end plugs into the cable end. Really easy to use, but again, in our testing, we didn't need to use it. The last thing I wanted to mention is that this is fiber cable. There is a piece of glass that's sending the signal from end to end. There is a bend radius, 1.8 inches, so a little less than 2 inches. But remember, this is a piece of glass. If you bend this cable in half, you break the glass and the cable will not work. All right, so let's take a look at the other version that we're carrying of these HDMI AOC cables. This one happens to be part number 12V4-41110. Again, this is a 10 meter cable. On this version, we're only carrying it in 10 meter, 20 meter, 30, and 50 meter lengths. This cable, this version does not feature the detachable ends. Again, these are unidirectional. They are clearly marked with a source side and a display side. Again, source is going to be your Apple TV, your Blu-ray, cable box, display going to the television. One of the features that I really like about this, even though we're not selling it as a slim connector end, it is a lot slimmer than our standard cable. Again, here is a 35-foot HDMI cable that we carry that uses copper. Trying to run this in through some standard 3/4 inch conduit. The connector head is too wide, it won't go through. Again, these, although we're not marketing them as slim ends, they do easily fit in 3/4 inch conduit. Again, this is a fiber optic cable. There is glass inside. Be mindful of that bend radius. 1.8 inches. Don't bend this cable in half or else you'll break the glass and your cable will not work for you. So thanks for joining me today. Again, my name is Daniel with Cable Wholesale. If you have any questions, remember we're available from 8 a.m. Eastern to 5 p.m. Pacific by phone or live chat. You can email us as well. So thanks again. Take care.